In this video, I will show you how to run the data validation tool ahead of doing your migration so that you can confirm that all your data is okay to be migrated, and if necessary you can follow the steps to contact our support team and ask them to investigate any anomalies. So firstly, on the web page where you found these videos, you will also find a link to download the instructions for running the data validation tool. The instructions will tell you to download the zipped version of the data validation tool, which I've already done, and now I'm going to unzip that as per the instructions. I'm going to extract that, I'm going to put it into ctemp on my computer, close that. I can now get rid of the actual zip file if I want. It doesn't really matter whether I leave it there or not. And then the instructions tell me that I need to find my lookup.xml file in my deploy folder and copy it into this folder. So the easiest way to find your deploy folder is if I minimize Windows Explorer and come back to my desktop, I have a shortcut to log into CCH Central. If I right click on that and go open file location, that tells me where my deploy folder is. If I maximize that, and then I am looking for a folder called lookup.xml, so I'll just type lookup. There's my file that I want. I'm going to copy that, right click and copy, go back to my temp folder, right click and paste, and now I've got my lookup folder sitting there. And the next step is to run the database validation tool itself. So find that, it'll be called database validation tool with a file type of application. If you right click on that and choose run as administrator, that part is important. And then, in a moment, my data is in good condition, so it says data is in good condition, I'm okay to do my migration. That is the result we want to see. But if you get something other than the screen message, there'll be some data in one or more of these 4 tabs at the top of the screen. The first tab generally looks for invalid email addresses, and if there's anything listed here, this is something that you can fix yourself. You will see the name of the contact, the invalid email address, and the contact ID, and from there you will need to log into Central, find that contact, edit their email address, and resolve the problem. The most common problem is that there's a space on the end of the email address for the contact, and to edit that you need to edit the contact, and unfortunately you can't just remove the space because Central doesn't think that you've made any editing if you're just removing the space on the end. So what you need to do is replace the space on the end with an X or any other character, save the change, then edit it again and remove the character that you added. The reason that you might have a space on the end, the most common cause, is that when creating the contact, the person creating the contact has copied and pasted the email address from another application, and quite often, as you may know, when you drag across some text to copy, it will copy the space on the end of that text as well. So that's the most common problem, and that's the one that you can easily fix yourself. If you found that that was the case, then what I suggest is you make the fixes, close this tool and then rerun it and confirm that this screen is empty before continuing. So if you've rerun the data validation tool and you haven't got a green message yet saying your data is okay, then you will look at the additional tabs and they will probably have some information in them explaining what the problems are. From experience, we know if there's data in the additional tabs, then it is generally something our support team will need to address on your behalf rather than yourself. So what we ask at that stage is for each individual tab that's got data, if you can click the export to CSV file, save the file to your computer somewhere, and repeat that for each individual tab that has data on it, and then zip those CSV files together, and then at the bottom of the instructions you will see a link that will enable you to securely send the data to us and also to send me an email, and I will then arrange for your data to be corrected. It is likely that the correction of your data will require one of our support consultants, and once they have corrected the data, they will rerun the database validation tool, confirm that we've got a green OK to continue message, and at that stage we can install CCH OneClick and then run the migration. Please watch our next video, which will show you how to install CCH OneClick if you haven't already done so.